there were a ton of talented tackles and a ton of talented wide receivers. If you need a left tackle, and, few teams don't, because even the Chargers, if they stick at 5, if they don't trade out, because I don't know if there's anybody that leaps off the page at them at 5, but they might want to trade down a little bit if a quarterback's out there and somebody wants to go get, I think they'd be open for business, the Chargers. If Drake May falls, or if somebody wants to really go get J.J. McCarthy and utilize that spot, they'd be in. But if they get Joe Alt, he'd be a right tackle, because Rashawn Slater's a left. He's the All-Pro. So you keep on looking at how many quarterbacks. Let's just say 4 go in the top 10, 3 tackles go in the top 10, and 3 receivers go in the top 10. That's entirely possible. Let's just take that 4th quarterback out. Let's just say somebody wants Dallas Turner. So a defender goes in the top 10 and pushes the quarterback down. Then the Broncos might be in business. But you also have the Vikings sitting right there. They better leapfrog the Vikings if Kirk Cousins doesn't re-sign. Because this is the conversation coming out of the combine. And by the way, just to answer Derek's question, JJ looked the part. 219 pounds. Everybody thought he was lanky. Well, not everybody. One unnamed executive told that to Albert Breer. And he looked the part. And apparently blew away the meeting rooms, which shouldn't surprise you. And wants to get better at everything. He's also 21. He just turned 21, too. So he's a kid. And you want to, he can hit his second contract by the age of 25, 26. Look.
Good spot to be.
Part of the reason why he wants to leave when he did. So it all starts with the Bears. And you just heard Dan Orlovsky say if he was the Bears, if he was Ryan Poles, if he were Kevin Warren and the McCaskey family, he would take Jaden Daniels over Caleb Williams. Man, you imagine if that happens on draft night.
I can't imagine. Washington is just...
They're doing cartwheels.
Yeah.
Doing cartwheels. That they would get a kid from the Mid-Atlantic area to be the Washington Commanders' face of the franchise. And that's the whole part of it, too, is they better grind that tape. And, because you'd take Jaden Daniels over Caleb Williams, you would be turning down the chance to take who everybody thinks is surefire in the media. Clearly, Dan Orlovsky would be like, I kind of know how to break down this stuff, and I kind of think that Jaden Daniels is better because he just had a better year. And he thinks he's maybe, I guess, more pro-ready. But the Bears are the team that once upon a time famously left Mahomes on the draft board. And Caleb Williams is the one that looks the most like him with off-platform throws and the stuff that he does. Just does look like Mahomes. Really does.
But to quote Chris Brockman here, something he loves to say, I think we're playing the result there because there was not this level of hype on Mahomes. Like, we're looking back and going, but...
Well, Mahomes didn't win a Heisman.
But the level of hype with Caleb is just infinitely higher than what it is.
Mahomes didn't play games that were seen nationally, like USC's. Mm-hmm. Right?
No, definitely not.
Right. And Mahomes' coach didn't famously leave one place to go to another place and take him with him.
Yeah, right.
So the spotlight has been on Caleb Williams so much more. And it was amazing that Spencer Rattler was on the same field as Caleb on Saturday for the same combine, since that's the guy who lost his gig to Caleb. And there he is up on the screen. He's available in the draft as well. He did.
DJ said he was a guy who everyone loved as a third, fourth round.
And it is the one that Chris Mortensen, before his passing, texted Daniel the night before his passing about. He was curious about Spencer Rattler.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So the Bears have to act first by trading Justin Fields by, I would say, this point next week. Because if Justin Fields' trade market is not as robust as they want it to be right now, guess what? It'll be a hell of a lot less robust if you let other teams fill up their spots. And I imagine you've got to, you gotta, when everybody's in the quarterback carousel spinning for the free agency, you got to trade Justin Fields now. I guess they could hold on to him.
Rich, do you think there's a possibility, Chris, that they hold on to this pick even maybe when the draft starts and just seeing who's going to get shook enough to maybe offer them way too much for Fields because the guys they wanted have been taken?
No, I think you've got to, when you look at the market right now, right? New England is a Fields landing spot.
Yep.
I don't think the Giants are. Atlanta clearly is, right?
Yep.
Denver might be, right?
Raiders.
Vegas
Yep.
might be.
Yep.
Another potential landing spot for Justin Fields, Pittsburgh. I doubt that will happen, as you know.
Unlikely now. I saw a really interesting one.
Tampa could, if Baker Mayfield suddenly decides to go up and go to New England, does Tampa go and get Justin Fields? Maybe. I mean, that's a question mark one.
I saw an interesting one. What about Cleveland?
Cleveland, come on.
Man, they got too much.
Come on.
Scratch.
And what do you,
position.
Deshaun Watson, it's every dollar guarantee where you can just cut him. That one makes no sense to me.
Everybody wants him.
I mean, that makes no sense to me. So those are the ones I've check marked: the Patriots, Falcons, Broncos, Raiders, Steelers, and got a question mark on Tampa. Let's just say you let Tampa re-sign Baker. They're off the board. You go and see Cousins is going to have to sign somewhere. Let's just say the Broncos love him or the Raiders love him. They're off the board. Or the Vikings re-sign him. They're off the board. You can't let these pieces land if you're Chicago. Then suddenly you're offering Justin Fields up for a song because you do have to offload him. He's not going to back up your first overall drafted kid. It's just not happening. So you got to offload him, I would think now. And then you can figure out, is it Jaden Daniels or is it Caleb Williams? Then you could take your time. You don't have to tip your hand. Certainly if Caleb Williams is telling the Bears, I'm not coming this week, I'm coming after my pro day, which is the 20th of March. And you also, I'm imagining, haven't put your hands on him with a doctor yet, which is the most crucial part to find out how medically ready he is to play the NFL. I mean, they found on which kid was it? Kool-Aid McKinstry, right? They found something called a Jones fracture in his foot.
Whoa.
Is that who it was? Somebody.
Yeah,
was that who it was going to be?
Sure it was.
Yeah, they basically say, your foot's broken. Like, okay.
By the way, whoever did
I don't know if that was it. You want to look that up? Make sure I'm not saying the wrong thing.
Jones fracture.
Whoever did that comp with Kool-Aid and the Kool-Aid man, I don't know if you saw that. It was amazing. They just had side by side of Kool-Aid McKinstry and the Kool-Aid man, and
that's good.
It was
well, again, the point
funny.
is you got to test guys medically. You got to get it done. And so, but based from that decision goes everything else. Cousins has got to land somewhere. Russell Wilson is going to be out there because I didn't leave Denver hearing a single soul saying that whatever, although it's silence, and silence sometimes means things are getting done behind the scenes. I don't know how he's a Denver Broncos starting quarterback next year. Although we just did hear Dan Orlovsky say, if you draft Drake May, you need to sit him. And then he said the only guy that's sniffing Drake May in terms of overtaking him for the third quarterback available in this year's draft is McCarthy. So I imagine you have to sit him too, would be Dan's counseling if you're sitting May.
Right.
Although you know how I think about how he would handle his business, J.J. McCarthy. But then again, one never knows. Those are the questions. Where do those pieces land in the next 10 days? Although Russell's date where he pops free is the 17th of March, which is after the new league year begins. Nuts. So that's your quarterback market as it stands. If Baker stays put, and let's just say Cousins stays put.
Oof, two big dominoes.
Right? Then does Atlanta go and get Justin Fields now or sit there and assume J.J. McCarthy and Penix will be there at the 8th overall pick? And that's the way they fill their quarterback spot.
And you're rolling with the rookie again.
Then you roll with a rookie.
Yep.
Which if I'm Raheem Morris, I'd do. You know? Well, unless, what? Is that the landing spot for Cousins? Like, what would you rather do? Start the clock from the very beginning with a 21-year-old quarterback or a 24-year-old quarterback, McCarthy or Penix, or a guy who's in his 30s coming off of an Achilles injury?
Give $40 million to a 35-year-old?
Right. Or you start the clock again. I would start the clock. And you're a new head coach. That means you get some time. Although the previous guy got a couple of years.
Whose downfall was he picking the wrong quarterback.
And then there's the Steelers. I don't think they're in the quarterback market at all. I would remove. Do you see them trading draft capital for Justin Fields and then having to pick up a fifth-year option on him when you've got Kenny Pickett?
Yeah, that's
like you got Kenny Pickett in the middle of his rookie contract to see if the kid from Pitt has what he's showed you he had, which is kind of like the Kenny Pickett time sort of fourth quarter magic is what he had at the end of his rookie season and didn't show it in year two. I don't think so. That doesn't strike me as that. I think they re-sign Mason Rudolph and go to work.
Just doesn't it feel
and let Arthur Smith be the difference maker?
Eerily similar to what New England just went through with Mac Jones, what Pittsburgh's doing with Kenny Pickett.
Except
great rookie season,
right?
Terrible second year,
right?
And then we saw what it got New England this year.
And then give him a real coordinator in Bill O'Brien. They're giving Pickett. A
real one with
Arthur Smith.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody thinks that Arthur Smith is
but it didn't
a downgrade.
Didn't go well for what the Pats did.
That's where you got to wonder, where does Justin Fields land? And I don't know. You just saw these teams had all of these kids in their meeting room and saw them spin it, sitting there at 11, 12, and 13. Interesting times for the Chicago Bears. But that's your quarterback market as things stand coming out of the combine. Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.